Hello again for the Old People's Complaint Desk. It's Waynio once more to say part two of why do white people like me who are old vote against their interests? Good question. Let's take a look at that, shall we? Let's all right. So first off, remember from the last vid, and if you subscribe and hit notify, you'll get notified that this is happening. That this one's coming out so we can continue the discussion. So the last video we talked about, we have to be voting against our interests because we have what we have. And we put it there all during our prime, and now it's boop, there it is, and we're still voting against our interests, and I don't know why. I don't understand it. Why we don't vote in our interests. So let's take some hot buttons, or some aspects of why things are the way they are, or let's at least talk about why it's the way it is. For healthcare, for example, how many of us are worried? How many of us are worried we get sick and it's a long, drawn-out illness and we're going to end up having to spend more money than we have? And maybe if we're sick enough and sick for long enough and the medical bills are that bad, maybe the only thing we have left is our home and we have to sell that and move out into a studio apartment. Why? Because to keep us alive, because we're sick. We got something. And our deductible alone was enough to put us in the poorhouse. Ugh. Why do we have to worry about going into the poorhouse and losing our home and everything just because we got sick in our old age? Why? Seriously. I don't know why. If you look at every other industrialized country, it's not like that. Italy, Germany, Japan, it's not like that. They have a national program where those people who do get sick and end up in a hospital for a month or 2 or 3 or 4 and then aftercare don't have to worry about losing everything and going bankrupt because the country's there to help them. How come we're not here with that? Why is it that we have a corporate system of healthcare where everyone else has a humanitarian system of healthcare? Matter of priorities, where you put your money. Is our healthcare system free? I thought I was paying into Medicare for a number of years to help finance that. And same thing with Social Security, right? It's not free. Why is it someone in Japan doesn't have to worry about going bankrupt? Why is someone in Sweden so calm and collected to where all they have to worry about is healing, becoming healthy, getting it through the illness because they're going to be taken care of? Sweden says we value our old people. They got us to where we are today and we're in a good spot. They helped our prosperity come about. And they're sick. We're not going to throw them out as wasteless eaters, useless eaters. We're not throwing them out. We're not throwing them to the dogs. We're going to take care of them because they took care of us when they could. Sweden. So is healthcare an issue? Is that a hot button? It is. Why do we have it the way we have it? Didn't we vote it in the way it is? Or did we not vote in people who put it the way it is? And want to keep it that way or even take that away? Why would we vote for anyone who would want to take away what little healthcare we have? Yet for sure, we've been doing it all along in our history, and we certainly have been doing it since the early 2000s when they had the Affordable Care Act, Obamacare. Why did we not vote for people who liked that? Instead, we voted for people who don't like that. We even put governors in states who says, no, I know we can get extra Medicaid and help our poor, destitute citizens in our state, but nope, we're not going to do that. We're not accepting it. Why? They came up with a lot of excuses and reasons as to why. Are your reasons for why they should forget about that in there, or are your reasons for why they should have accepted the extra Medicaid support on your list, but not on their list? And if it's on your list and not on their list, why the heck did you vote them people in? You vote in people who have me on their list of I give a rip and it's priority. Okay, we're going to go talk about Sweden again. What's the next concern? That we're going to turn into socialists? Oh, my goodness. First, we must establish, do we really know what a socialist is? Okay. We're not getting it confused with other things. All right, Sweden, Norway, Italia, and some other countries. They're democratic socialists. The democratic part means they vote on who they put into office, who their leaders are, right? Their leaders enact laws like, hey, national health care system, we're going to take care of you, old folks. And the socialist part of the democratic socialist, the socialist part means we're going to take our output and have it benefit all of our citizens, and pretty much equally. And you know what? If you don't need the help, that's fine, because you got millions and millions of dollars, no problem. But if you need the help because you ain't got millions and millions of dollars, just a normal, average son of a gun, middle class, work your life, whatever, work a slobholic or something, right? Blah, 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 blah. What? Yeah. You then, whatever you are, have a minimum of stress-free health care. You don't have to worry about losing your home. You don't have to worry about going bankrupt, because the democratic socialists of Sweden made sure that all of their people had at least a basic level, an equal level of health care and infrastructure and benefits and all the other stuff. Democratic, social, meaning we care about our people first. Quite a bit different from America First, right? America First doesn't work. People First does work. Middle Class First does work. Mainstream First does work. Middle class and Main Street priorities back in the 50s, late 40s, early 50s, and even into the 60s helped you and me get to here in one piece where we can at least have some life, some rest after working how many years? Okay, 15 to 66. Oh, almost 50 years of working. Okay. Did I pay my dues? Huh? All right. So we put the people in who made the system. Why are we voting against our interests with health care? Why don't we have a basic minimum coverage that doesn't leave us bankrupt? Infrastructure. We built the infrastructure in the early 50s into the 60s. They put the Garden State Parkway in down the street from where I used to live. They built this big pit and then they caved it. I remember I was very young, maybe less than 5. They put that in so that we can move products and goods, post, people, all the rest of the stuff, right? And then entrepreneurs went out and made businesses that utilized those infrastructure services. Okay, so we don't have any of that now. Infrastructure's a mess. We got a problem. We can't afford it. Why? Because we don't have enough money going into the government to afford our lifestyle. We have a debt. Where's the money going? Is it going to you and me? Well, Medicare and Social Security is basically just what goes into you and me, and then a couple of laws I enacted down the road to make sure the sky is clean, the water's drinkable. Does the money go into there? A little bit. Do you know how much of our budget goes into Social Security and Medicare? They are not entitlements, right? You paid for it. Did you look at your paycheck when you were working and see where all the different monies went? They're not entitlements. Where does the money go? Yeah, it goes into the military. We spend more money into our military. More of our budget goes to the military than the next 10 largest armies. Russia, China, England, France, just to mention Australia. Those are just 5. we spend more of our money on military than those 5 countries plus 5 more countries on top of that. Is it necessary? I don't know. What do you think? Who told you it's necessary? Next question is, why did they tell you it's necessary? Let's go back and look at a few other things when those same two questions. Who told you? Why? And why? Healthcare. We don't have a national healthcare system. Why? Who told you that it's not in our interests? Why did they say that? Were they getting millions of dollars in campaign contributions from the healthcare system? Maybe. That might have something to do with it. And you know what? They've been doing that for a long time. Certainly they've been doing it for 40 years, since the 80s. And this is where they got now. This is where we got now, to where they have a stranglehold on the people. And they stranglehold by taking their money away, and everything's cost so much to get elected. Take their money away and, oh my God, you own me. Give me money, I can get elected, I'll have a cush job, I'll have power, I'll have all these extra benefits that all the normal working people have. I'll have great health care plan. And I'll make sure that you are my friend. I'll treat you like my friend. Who told you a national health care system isn't good for us, isn't in our interest, and why did they tell you that? Who told you that socialism is not in our interest? Who says that we are turning into a socialist country? Because you know as well as I do, it is not true. And it's never going to happen. Who told you that we're a socialist? Is it people with 20, 30, 40, 80, 90, 200 million dollars in their bank accounts? Are they the ones that are telling you we're turning socialist? Is it some guy in the Senate who's been there for 40, 50 years, who went in there with a net worth of 100,000 and has a net worth of 27 million now? How the hell does a senator get a net worth of 27 million after being in office for 50 years? I don't know, 40 years, whatever. I don't know. It doesn't pay that much. Are they the ones that are telling you that we're turning into socialists, so don't vote for this stuff? Why are they telling you that? Maybe the fact that they ended up getting a net worth of $27 million in the process of serving their country and serving us, the citizenry. Why? So are you going along with what they tell you? Are you going along with a national health care plan is not in our interests? Oh, you have to wait. Oh, right, you have to wait. I don't know about you, but I have some serious stuff going on, and I'm worried about it. And it's 7 weeks before I can get in to see my doctor. So you tell me about Canada's healthcare system where people have to wait 6 weeks. They don't wait as long as I do. You know what? I pay Medicare and insurance premium. If I paid an extra $250 a month, I can get concierge service from that doctor, and he'll answer my call right away and schedule me right away. Okay, so what's Medicare now? 100 and some odd dollars a month. My insurance premium just for me, $300 a month, and then I got to pay $200 more, and then I'm going to pay the out-of-pocket. Who told you? Why did they tell you? Take a look at everything around you and ask the questions when you're going to vote. I'm going to vote for this candidate. Oh, but he's going to do this. I don't like it. Really? Are you sure you don't like it? Well, it's this topic. Okay, who told you? One side of the story. Who told you and why? Who told you no and why? Who told you yes and why? Look for their motives. Motivation is everything. Motivation is always the truth. I'm Sicilian. My family came from Sicily primarily. My DNA is primarily, 30% of it is Sicilian or in that area. Another 30% Western Asian, little Spanish, Hispanic, Northwest European and all that, but mostly Sicilian. And Sicilians always look for what motivates the speaker. The speaker will look at you in the eye and will likely be lying to you if it's in that speaker's interests about what, and he'll be lying to you about what's your interest. Look at who's telling you that and ask why. What is the motivation that individual is saying what they're saying? And then take that to the ballot box and vote. This is the topic that I'd like to talk about for a few times, and I'm going to. I'll probably wear the same shirt. And I'm going to cut it off now, though. So we'll call it part 2. I'll come back to part 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I don't know. We'll see. But in the meantime, if you're interested, if you want to know, subscribe. I could use some subscribers. If you share it with your friends, I'd appreciate it, because maybe your friends would like it. Otherwise, that's the standard stuff. It's YouTube. Do I have to say it? It's understood. Please subscribe. Please hit notify. Please share it. Please like it. I don't really like it if you want, but subscribe it. I don't expect you to like everything, all right? But anyway, that's it from Wadio and the Old People's Complaint Desk. I'm complaining about why us white old people vote against our interests. You tell me. Someone told you to? Who told you? And why? See you later. Hi, this is Wadio with a disclaimer. The information that I'm providing is not intended or implied to be a substitute for professional medical advice, diagnosis, and treatment, nor as a substitute for professional mental health care or a substitute for accounting and tax preparation. These stories are my experiences. Go and have your experiences, and may they be guided by competent professional help. And I give public notice that all names are fictitious composites and I'm representing no one person, alive or otherwise. My intent here, as in all cases, is not to malign anyone or anything. Thank you.